twabashemererwa aha live broadcast.
All right, welcome to the Lyfe podcast. Yet again, this is CJ Alton, and we do have another special episode. We're going to be talking about the Black history perspective from Uganda. So today we have a very special guest. I brought her in. She's a very sweet lady. You'll get to meet her. She's from Uganda. We're going to talk about her experience in Uganda, her education experience, and then ultimately talk about how African Americans can help Ugandans in any way that we can in regards to education. So, with that said, I'm going to bring her in. Joanna, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, doing very well. I know you had a great adventure this past weekend doing some fashion stuff, right?
Yes, I always do.
All right, cool. That sounds good. So let's go ahead and get right into it because I've been so intrigued in Uganda for a long time, but I haven't spoken to a lot of people from Uganda. But I know the culture there is very unique. You guys are very close to the Congo, I believe, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So I've been very interested in that area for a long time. So it's good to have you on here where we can talk about education and how we can, create this Pan-African, movement in education. So let me start off with this. Where were you born?
I was born in Western Uganda, but we moved a week after I was born. So I've been living in the central Uganda region, Kampala, for my childhood up to now.
Okay, so Kampala. Kampala is the capital of Uganda?
Yes, Kampala is the capital city of Uganda.
Okay. All right. And so this is basically the place where you grew up, was Kampala.
Yes.
Okay. And so can you describe like Kampala? Just like I know it's a big city. Does it have like a countryside where it's kind of out the city, or does it have like big buildings? Like what does it look like?
Kampala has big buildings, but still it has some slums. Those ghetto places where there are people who are striving, people who are hustling. So we have three types of people, three types of living. Okay. We have those ones who are very rich, moderate, and low. So that's Kampala. Yes, it's a big city, but still there are some people who don't have, some people who have, but it's congested, of course, in a way that is good because people have to live there so that they can work and acquire many accommodations that they can't get in the villages. Living in Kampala can help you get more closer to big opportunities. That's why many people move to this side, but still they go and develop the other sides too, because we have to be equal. Growing up in Kampala it has helped me to get an exposure to different things, because many people from foreign countries come here and they live here in Kampala. So they come with different stuff that we learn from them, which is good. And we acquire a lot because there's technology everywhere here, everywhere. It's more than this side, though some people cannot afford, but some people do.
Okay, I see. So is there like outside of Kampala, is there maybe a second city in Uganda where it also has business and opportunities? Is there another city?
Yes, we do have a lot, but just because Kampala is the main, it's in the central, people it's overpopulated with people who have money. But we have Marara City, we have Jinja, we have Gulu. They are all developed, they are all looking good, but it's just because Kampala is the central city. That's how they chose it to be.
Can you describe like what it was in your family household, like what your family looked like, and who you grew up with?
My family was moderate. We were not too rich, we were not too poor, because we always afforded school, we always afforded food. My dad is in military, and my mom is she used to do tailoring, that is inside the fashion industry. So where I grew up, it was a small house, but we owned it. We owned it. We never used to rent. We used to have a big family because we used to help people from my Western Uganda, my relatives, to come and also have a chance to live here. We used to work in my mom's. She had a supermarket. We used to work there. When we're not at school, we go and we help her with work. So she used to assist us with different skills. We could make snacks like chapatis, samosas. You make them, you sell them in her shop. Yeah. So she made us get the skills. She made us work for the pocket money we wanted.
That's good. I mean, she gave you some discipline.
Yeah, because we used to love buying things at school. And she was like, if you want to buy them, let me teach you how to make a samosa. You make it, you go and you put it, display it in my shop. When they buy it, the money is yours. Of course, it's you who has made it. So that's how we used to do to earn the pocket money, the extra money to buy what you would want.
That's good. That's very good. So you kind of learned how to be an entrepreneur from early.
Yeah, and the moment we started that, there's no way you would go back saying, now I don't have energy to make. You would make them whether you want it or not, because they know you have energy and the brain to do so.
Exactly. So with that said, can you explain like what the Uganda school system looks like? Like, for example, we have like elementary school, then we have middle school, we have high school, then college. How does the Uganda system work? This episode is sponsored by the Lyfe Network, where we focus on melanin history, culture, and wellness. Please support our products that represent history, culture, and wellness. We have king and queen shirts that represent our history and the greatness that we have in our culture for thousands of years. We also have confident shirts that give a message of positivity and bring value to our self-worth. We also have Confianza shirts to represent the Hispanic and Latin community to bring together Black and Brown unity. You can find our products on 2 different platforms. 1, our website, and 2, Etsy.com. Our website, Lyfe, Lyfe -network.com. You can also check out Etsy and type in the Lyfe Network. If you have any questions, we do have a number available on our website. So please feel free to contact us today with any questions. So support us today and enjoy the rest of the episode.
In Uganda, we have our nursery school. Those are the kindergartens that run from 0 years, maybe they have the daycare too, to age, to age 8 sometimes, but they always stop at age 6 or 7. We have that young sector, but back in the years, we used to have PE. PE could join everything from baby class to P7, that is age 12 to 13. So the government used to support. It still supports, but right now many private schools have been built by individuals. Yeah, but we have kindergarten, that's for the young age. Then we have our elementary, that's from age 7 or 6 to age 13.
Okay.
So they always do their exams, and at the age of 13, that is primary 7. Grade 7. When they do that, they are always national. They do national exams. All of them do the same exams in Uganda. So that when they get high points, they get to go to the secondary. We call it secondary here. It is high school. Then secondary, we have from senior 1 to senior 6. Those are 6 years. We study 6 years in the secondary level. Then after 6 years, you get a certificate of your advanced level, which can allow you to go to the university to study any course you would want according to the points you've earned.
So what age did you stop going to school, or what's your education level?
What age did I start all my education level? I started at 3 years and a half. That was baby class. And I'm still studying, so I can't level my education level because I'm still studying. I don't know how far it will get.
Got it. Exactly.
I'm currently studying education, ECD, early childhood development for now, and I'm planning to upgrade more and more. So my education level will keep going higher if I persist.
Yeah, it's above average. I mean, compared to the rest of the Ugandans then.
Yeah, but Ugandans have gone to school. It's just that they need to be sensitized about how they should do or handle some things. Because some people have degrees and diplomas in different areas, but they don't have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They literally have no knowledge about how to handle, about how to start life. That's why some of them graduate and they end up doing what is not qualified to their level.
What was your favorite subject that you can remember going to school?
My favorite subject was, I used to love literature, but CRE was better because I grew up in church. So Christian religious education was really good because I could relate. I go to church, they say the same thing. That I go to home, they say the same thing. So it was great, but literature was nice. The stories, I loved most times to put myself in those shoes of the people, of the characters of the people I used to read about.
That's good. So you had like an imagination.
Yeah. And when we're reading a story, it's like I'm inside it.
Okay. So what was your least favorite subject?
That was chemistry.
Okay.
Chemistry. Yeah.
Too difficult. Oxygen, hydrogen, carbon. No,
Mixing chemical reactions. Oh my God. Not in my head.
I
The chemical
understand.
reactions, I had to do all that thing. The calculations, I couldn't manage.
What about your history class? Did you enjoy history at all?
Yes, I did enjoy history, and it was the easiest. Yes, I loved literature, but history was the easiest to be performed. I don't know why, but I used to do history very well. Even now, I like history because
Yeah.
I want to know, and I still want to know more.
Did you learn about like African history? Did you learn about like specifically Ugandan history? Like what were some of those stories being told to you when you were going to school?
What I learned about history here, we learned about the colonization, because here it's a big deal, how we got colonized, life before and life after colonization.
Okay, so who colonized Uganda?
The British.
The British colonized Uganda. Okay, so when you say you learned history before, what was Uganda like? What was that history?
Before we had a lot of tradition.
Mhm.
We had kings. Kings are the ones who ruled everything. We had kings in different tribes because we have 56 tribes in Uganda. So we had kingdoms. We had Ankole Kingdom, we had Uganda Kingdom, we had a lot. So every kingdom had a king. So we were always in our own kingdoms. We were not united, first of all. Everyone was speaking their own tribal language.
When did Uganda gain independence? Do you know what year that was or
1962.
1962? Okay, good. You passed the test there.
Yeah, that was abrupt. You had
Yeah.
got me.
Yeah. So in class, the teachers, did they talk about like Ugandan like culture and customs and traditions in school?
Yes, we study that at our elementary level. We have to study about the tribes we have. We have to study how different tribes behave, and we have to study about what cultures believe in that is really effective to us. Because some cultures used to kill twins. Some cultural beliefs, some cultures used to kill twins, that if you give birth to twins, that's an omen. They used to kill them.
Now stretching outside of Uganda, like, did you ever learn, did teachers ever talk about African American history, like history in the United States? Did you ever run across that?
The history I remember is that I remember they used to carry slaves from Europe, and they take them to the United States. That's how the Black American became. That's what they teach us.
Okay, all right. So that's the main story. They don't have.
Of course, we've studied little about they've told about us about the coffee belts, just Colombia, in Brussels, Massachusetts, only that. But I remember when we were studying about West African history, that is Sierra Leone, Liberia. They told us some mixed Africans were not brought to West Africa, but they were carried from Europe to America. We've not enlightened about the real history that side, the way people that side don't know everything this side.
Exactly. And that's the purpose of the Life Network and these courses is to exchange that information and exchange that history because we're a lot more intertwined than, we believe. Ultimately, right, Uganda was colonized by the British and, America came here through the British, right? The British came here and colonized these lands. So we're a lot more intertwined than we may believe. And some Black Americans might even have roots in Uganda and so forth and other, African countries. Did you learn about like ancient Egyptians? Did you learn about the pyramids, the Nubians? Did school teach you anything like that?
What we study about Egypt most times is the kings. We study about Egypt, not too much. We study about Egypt, small. We don't study a lot about it. We study the main facts, small, but we don't get into the history of Egypt.
I see.
We can study how things go, but since we study about it since the River Nile passes Egypt. So we have to study about it small, but we don't enter into the big history.
Would you be interested, just like kind of, I don't want to say pretend, but just hypothetically, like, would you be interested in learning more about African American history and just Black history outside of Uganda?
Yes, I would love, and I'm ready to. If it's there, I would join.
All right, that sounds good. Would you attend like an online course, like kind of like this? How, I sent you a link, you click the link, and now you're in here. Would you attend an online, Black culture course with, other African descendants, people from South Africa and Ghana and, might be even India? Would you be interested in attending a course?
I would be interested because I believe, yes, we have technology. We see they have made some clips of the movies about their life. That's why we know maybe some small hints. But I think when I get an online course, I'll get to know the real life behind the sci-fi, maybe the fiction. The real life behind the fiction movies they make. I'll be happy. I get to learn more, and I want to learn more of my history, of my African history, because I love Africa. These were brothers of ours. We are one. That's all I can say. We have to be united so that we can overcome the challenges that are happening in the current world, because it's not simple.
I believe it. That's perfect. That's good. Because to that part, right, when you talk about unity, I want to ask you, like, how can African Americans help Ugandans more? Like, how can we utilize our dollars and our resources to help out specifically like Ugandans? Like, what can we do?
Yeah, for the other parts, I can say we are not badly off, but the way you're doing this program right now, it's helping me. And I know I can also transfer the same information to somebody else, my friends, my colleagues. Since I'm a teacher, I can even tell my students. So these programs you're making already a big support to us. And the other thing is they can help us in forming organizations that can help the young generation so that they can build the future in front. So creating such organizations, taking this to see what you can help us with, upgrade us. That's what I can ask.
Yeah, ultimately, upgrade each other because African Americans here, we can use your help in your culture and your traditions to help, better ourselves. Because, we as African Americans, we don't have the best diet. We have a lot of what you call soul food. It causes a lot of health issues. We can take some African cultures, some African, medicines, foods, stuff like that, that we know are really better for our health. So we can help each other.
And one thing is like helping us should not only be for medicine, but for you people to come and engage with us. We have space, enough space for you. You can carry whatever you know. You come invest it here. We do good schools. We can. When I see the future, if we all collaborate, Africa might become the best continent in the whole world if we collaborate. But if we don't, we will always be behind. Exactly. If all African Americans would think like you, don't know the change that will come to us.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to change, because I know for a fact Africa is the future. The population is growing. The numbers are getting larger. And places outside of Africa, are getting smaller. So I know there's a lot of investment, there's a lot of business, a lot of opportunities to grow. And so that's where, I create the Melanin history and culture course to learn the history, learn the culture today. And then, with the second course, Black Community Policy course, that's where we start learning how to do things and start creating these businesses, start creating the jobs, the opportunities, and start creating policies to where, we can get the government to support certain projects and organizations.
Because I've seen many Africans have very unique talents and abilities, but they don't have guidance. They don't have support. They don't have motivation to carry on the same thing.
I agree. I mean, with that said, you said a lot about unity and Pan-Africanism, really. But just my last question, is there anything that, you want to say more about African unity?
Yeah, I would love to say that African unity, of course, for us, we do unite here in Africa. It is cool. It is cool here.
Ah, I see. So Uganda doesn't have a lot of racism.
We don't have. We don't have racism here. What would we race? Who would we hate? Why?
Yeah. Most of you are the same. There's very few.
We're the same, and most times, even if we have these other people, they don't, because now we know what we deserve. When somebody comes, you have to be straight. We're not back, we don't have language barrier that you will not understand what they're saying. Someone will say what they want, you also give them the right answer. So communication is at a good level, so there's no racism here. No, people mind their business.
I love that. That's perfect. With that, I do appreciate you, Joanna, coming on here and, expressing your experience, talking about Uganda, your school experience. I think it's very helpful. And I think a lot of African Americans can take this and learn from it and try to find ways on how they can contribute to countries like Uganda and other countries in Africa. So, we'll keep this dialogue going. We'll have some other topics in the future, but I really do appreciate you taking the time to be here.
Yeah, and another thing I would want to say is that here in Africa, people always think that maybe when you come to Africa, you're going in the bush. We've done some developments here. Things are really going good. And I think when African Americans get time to visit and to learn about us, our daily life, they will get to like it, because we are carefree, first of all. We know the history of the slave trade or the bad things that happened to the Africans, but people still have the love and care. They don't hate. They are still ready to receive. We are doing great for now, because I see people are persisting. They are taking education courses. They are really getting the knowledge, the skills, grabbing them from that side, bringing them here, which is good, because we have to develop and create a better future for us. The past is past, gone is gone. So the future is better, brighter.
Exactly. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And like I said, I appreciate you coming on, and that will conclude this episode. So thank you, Joanna, for being here. We will catch up with you next time.
Thank you so much. It was great having you too.